Hello again and welcome to Ndudubyfafa. Hello, amazing creatives. Thank you very much for tuning in for another episode with Fafa. As you can tell, I've placed my saucepan on a medium heat and I've added a little bit of oil. I mean, you can use any oil that you have available. And of course, you had to rain some onions because we need the sweetness of the onions in this dish. Next thing, I do need my minced beef. You can use any minced meat that you do have available. I'm not going to use all of this. I'm going to reserve some for another recipe. This is a lockdown recipe, absolutely. And I'm going to fry this gently for about 2 minutes. And of course, I'm now adding my minced beef. I'm going to fry this mixture for about 10 minutes on that medium to low heat as I infuse it with flavors. Now, if this is your first time, you're welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button also here and the notification button so you do not miss any future videos. And to my notification gang, thank you very much for making the comment section so exciting. At this point, I'm adding my salt to taste because I just need that flavor to be enhanced and also the moisture to be extracted from my minced beef. Now here I've got my mixed spice, which will definitely be available soon, but you can use any mixed spice that you have available for this recipe, or you can omit it all together anyway. Anyway, I'm just going to mix everything together and gently fry this because next thing I'm going to add are my bay leaves. Yes, and of course I do have an unlimited sauce because a neighbor has got a fresh tree, so yes, that's why. But you can use the dry bay leaf, definitely not a problem. And this mixture is almost ready for me to add my flavor packed slow cooked wachi tomato stew. Yes, now especially with this lockdown looming, which is going to be in a few days. Yes, it is imperative that you do make like your tomato sauce and refrigerate it because that would allow you to create more recipes than you'd think. There's a lot that can be done, with the wachi stew. So I would leave a link in the description box below and also pin it at the top so that yes, you can watch and make that quickly. Absolutely. So anyway, I've added my wachi stew to my minced beef and I'm just gonna cook this for another 10 minutes. Now I'll tell you why. I just want the minced beef to be crispy and to absorb every flavor that I've introduced here. Now I'm adding a little salt to taste because when I did taste it, it needed that. And of course, I will be adding my bulgur wheat and some water later. So I just needed that little bit more. But whilst you're cooking, just taste it as you go along. And if you think it does require some more salt, you do add it. But if not, you can omit it altogether. Now for that sweetness and for that warmth, I like the smell of freshly grated nutmeg. So I've just grated just a little bit on top and that changes the flavor as well. Because of course the wachi stew has got its distinctive flavor and by incorporating these few spices here and there, it changes the taste of your dish, which is exactly what you're looking for. You don't want to be eating the same thing over and over again. Anyway, so now that I've fried it and it's all nice and beautiful, I'm adding my bulgur wheat. Now what you will notice is when I'm adding the bulgur wheat, I add a little bit the first time round and then I mix everything together. Now this is where the Mama Africa, using your eyes, your nose, all your senses, and your feelings really in figuring out when is the right measurement. Is this it? Yeah, so when I did it and I was just staring at it, I could just feel that this was just too sochi. Now you don't ask me what sochi means. It just meant that it was just too rich. Exactly. So I had to add a little bit more of my bulgur wheat. Now don't worry, don't be alarmed. I will definitely leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com, where all my recipes are centralized and it's very easy for you to refer to. Anyway, so now that I've mixed everything, I need that moisture, so I'm adding some water. There is no need to add any stock, but you can if that's your own personal preference. But I think this is flavor packed. Now, considering you've got a pack of minced beef, and I did not even use all because I left a third of it for another recipe, as I mentioned earlier. And this in itself is a dish you can quickly enjoy with, anything that you want. Now, what you notice is when you're cooking with bulgur wheat, it doesn't take long to cook either. So this is such a quick dish. And I've just looked at it and added just a little bit more of the water. And I think that is the right consistency. I'm just going to cover this. Going to reduce that heat to the lowest setting, and you don't need to do anything to it, and just allow it to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. And here is your pièce de résistance. The bulgur wheat is readily available online in most African or Asian shops. Now, it is imperative now more than ever to also shop locally to help your local businesses as well. Yes, because we are all in this together. Now, if you're using the Ghanaian wheat, there is a different way of cooking it because you need to soak it first, because it does take a bit longer to cook if you don't soak it. Now, I'll leave a link in the description box, and I'll also pin it at the top as to how I've done that in a previous video. I think I did a couple of years ago. And also, I made the Ghanaian wheat porridge. It is to die for. It's just incredible. It's nutty. It's wholesome. It's ja. Anyway, back to my pièce de résistance. Look at how beautiful this is. This is ready. At this point, this dish is done. But fellow creatives, if you want to do that catch, this is where you add your little shenanigans. Okay, so what have I done? I've slow cooked my banana shallots. You can use any normal onion, not a problem, in olive oil, as well as added some few garlic pieces. So this is just incredible. And I'm just, sprinkling it on the surface. Yes, because of course with the garlic is a natural antibiotic anyway. So having the family dig into this and just go, knowing very well that, they've got some healthy thing coming through them. It's, it's ndudubyfafa. I think about this. But then again, you can't omit this altogether. I did serve this with some asparagus, which is just great. I wanted to keep this video short, so I will upload the asparagus recipe separately, and it would always be then a point of reference. You can serve this with broccoli as well. I've got a broccoli recipe. I think I need to link you guys up with that. I'll leave a link in the description box as well, and you can familiarize yourself with it. Now, as I always say, don't worry about the measurements, because I will be putting the full transcript of this recipe, including the measurements and list of ingredients, on my blog ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. So do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as ndudubyfafa. So do pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And as we go through the second lockdown here in the UK, I'm sending lots and lots of love and light to everyone. This is a trialing time, and I know it can be difficult, but it's so important that you put yourself in an intentional place of positivity. Get your environment clean. Also get it in the way that you have this positive aura around you. So be it the candles, be it, your little lovely sweet smells around you, or, baking something or doing something that reminds you of a happy moment. Yes, because that would help. And maybe read a book, do something different. Exactly. We're in this together, and guess what? I'll be thinking about you, and I'm sending you oodles and oodles of love. I love you for you. Remember that. Ndudu by Fafa. Miawezulu. Ndudu by Fafa. Koba Ndudu and Yukwelu. Fafa. Come on, Ndudu. Naglo Fafa. Alaba flavors are all in my bala. Ndudu Vivi.